All right, guys, welcome to section 4, and what we're going to look at here is really important. Any filmmaker needs to understand how to work with a script. Scripts are important. You can't go to Hollywood without hitting 10 people writing a script at any given time. So scripts, hugely important, but they're not just sheets of paper with, action lines and things like that. They're really an important tool for any filmmaker to use, because in the script is going to contain all the information of the things that you need to gather to make a film. And when one of your jobs is to make an environment where filmmaking can happen, and that means you have to have all the things that you need, all the ingredients together at one time to make a film. So you need to be able to take a script, open it from start to finish, and then analyze it, break it down into all the things you're going to need. You're going to need to figure out actors, locations, props, special effects, all that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it over to Josh, and he is going to break down a script that he wrote and filmed, and he's going to show you his process of doing that.
All right, guys, so now let's take a look at some scripts and kind of figure out how to break them down and really get prepared for the production that we're going to be working on. So I have a script here that I did a while back called Black and White, and we're going to be working on kind of how to break that down and get it ready for production. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the script and I'm going to start circling all the locations, because that's kind of the big thing that we're going to have to figure out. So I'm going to look through here. First location, all right, we're going to need a field. And also to talk a little bit about how scripts are laid out, there will always be a section header at the top. It will say interior or exterior, that's inside or outside, the location, and then what time of day is it? Is it night? Is it evening? Because that's really important, because some locations will let you film in the morning, other locations will only let you film at night. So that's really important when trying to figure out your locations. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to figure out, okay, we got a field, there's another location. Okay, so here's another one. We need a street at night, and then back to the field, and that's it. Okay, so looking through here, all we need is we got field and a street at night. So a field during the day, street at night. So what I would be doing now is I would be getting out some type of notepad or something like that, and I would be writing down my locations and the time that I'll need them. And then the next thing that I'm going to be going through is figuring out actors. How many actors do we need? What do they look like? What does the script kind of describe them as? So I'm going to be going through it. I'm going to be circling how many actors that we're going to need. So I'm going to be reading through the script, and you know what? It's always nice to have different colored pens, because that's really helpful to be able to look through the script and quickly find things. So now I'm going to do the actors with the highlighter. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 total characters, and then we also, another thing that's not actually in the script, I mean it is in the script, but they don't have dialogue, is it says there's firemen in the background walking around. That's really important. So we're going to have to find some multiple firemen, not just one that has lines. So looking through the script, we have our locations now. We're going to be writing down our actors. We need 5 actors with some extras. And now we're going to go back to the beginning of the script. And then the next thing I'm going to need to find is props. Props are any specific things to the story. It's, if we describe a specific thing what someone's wearing, or if someone has a wedding ring that they have to have on their finger, or a TV, for example, like this script has a TV that is very important to the script. It's a very important prop. So I know that I'll have to have a TV. So I'm going to go through the script and I would circle or underline or find all the props that I need. Okay, so now let's take a look at this last page, and we're continuing to look for props and things that we're going to need to make this production possible. And we're also going to be underlining kind of special effects, things that require special attention. That could be a ball rolling off of a shelf or glass that breaks from a window. All that stuff is special effects. It doesn't necessarily mean it's all digital effects. It can be real stuff, but requires special attention to make it possible. So there's Donnie. Donnie is in this scene, so we're going to be underlining Donnie and his fireman buddy. So we need Donnie, we need a fireman. Looking through, covered in glass. So I already know that that's a prop right there. We got to actually get some type of glass to put on his. Now we won't put real glass on his face. We got to find stuff that looks like glass. I know a lot of people have used iced before and kind of crunched it up. So we'll need some type of prop to make it look like glass. So there's our prop there. An ambulance. That's a prop that we'll need. Red and blue lights going off on the background, that's a prop because we'll need something creating that. Okay, so the fireman is lifting Donnie out of a car window. So we're gonna need some type of car, something that's wrecked, something that we can pull Donnie out of a window. So that's another prop that we're gonna need. A paramedic places an oxygen mask on him. We're gonna need an oxygen mask. Okay, we're gonna need a stretcher. So we also have, Ellie's in this shot. We got some paramedics. So looking through here, we have Donnie, we have firemen, we have an ambulance, we have a wrecked car, we got an oxygen mask, we need a stretcher, we need some paramedics, and we need some glass to be able to put on his face. So now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a list of everything that I need to make this scene possible. I'm gonna write it out. I'm gonna have a section for actors. I'm gonna list all the actors that I need, my location. I'm gonna have the address of the location whenever I find that location. And then I have my list of props and special effects. Now, another thing that's really important is while dissecting this kind of script is what sound effects would be good with this? What can help kind of tell the story? Now, whenever I was writing the script, I was already starting to imagine a lot of the sound for this scene. I didn't want there to be any music. I wanted it to be really strong and rich with good sound. So some sounds that would be happening. It's a car wreck, so there's going to be cars around. So we're going to be hearing cars driving around. So maybe I'm going to go ahead and start getting sound effects of that. There are stretchers, there's an ambulance, so maybe some noise of some engines running or a siren going off or something like that. Also maybe walkie-talkies, because firemen always have walkie-talkies kind of strapped to their chest. So maybe you can hear some of that going on. When it talks about the broken glass, of course you might hear some glass falling on the ground, so you might be able to get some sound effects of, you could maybe grab some ice, drop it on the ground and record that. And so again, just get creative in different ways that you can get a lot of the sound, because the sound is so big and to help telling your story. Now, continuing with this script with black and white, we're going to jump into doing some storyboarding. Storyboarding is huge because it really gets you an idea of visually what it's going to look like, and then also gives you almost like a map of getting things done, which way to go. So looking at this first scene of black and white, whenever I was writing it, I already visually was starting to get an idea of what I wanted. And so like the intro frame, when he wakes up in the field, I knew I wanted him laying on his back. So I already drew my first photo. So here's my frame. And I knew that I wanted him upside down. So I was already starting. I'm a horrible drawer, so I'm just going to be drawing stick figures, but it's okay because the whole point of the storyboard is just to help you visually plan out how you're going to film it and stuff like that. So they don't have to be amazing drawings. Sometimes actually I go out and I take photos for my storyboards, so you can really do it however way that you want to do it. So I'm going to draw my stick figure. I knew I wanted him upside down, so there he is. There's my first shot. And then from there, I was going to move on to my second shot. He was going to lean up. So we're going to draw that. And another big reason why we're doing this is sometimes when you plan it visually in your head and you're starting to plan out all these shots, but once you get out on the set, your mind is so focused on so many things, you forget shots. You go back to the editing and you realize, oh my gosh, I forgot this one shot of him getting up. Well, if you have a storyboard with you on the set, you can look at it and memorize, okay, this shot, we're going to film this one first, and then this one, and then this one, and it keeps things running smoothly, and you won't forget any shots because you already have them planned out. So this shot, we had him waking up. He's getting up in the field. You can see the TV in the background. Kind of the field is back there, then there's some trees. So it goes from that shot, and then a lot of times, because I'm so bad at drawing, I take lots of notes. So down at the bottom, I'll be taking different notes, like Donnie waking up, or things like that, just so I can look at it. If I can't really tell what the shot is, I can look at all the notes, or camera has special pan or move or zoom right here. You can write all these different notes to help you while you're on set and while you're filming. So from there, I would move it to the next shot, and that is him running towards the TV. So I have the TV over here. It's shining bright, and he is running up to it. And I'm going to draw arrows saying that he is approaching the TV. And so that's kind of a basic way of how you can start storyboarding. So once you get on set, you know, all right, we're going to film this shot, and then we're going to film this shot, and then we're going to film this shot, and so on. You would do that throughout your entire movie, and that really helps you stay organized, keeps also the whole crew together, and it's just a great tool for being out on set and filming.